Hi everyone, George here at Madness Motorworks. Today we're going to show you how to install a set of our polyurethane lower engine mount bushings. It's a three-piece kit and very easy to install, and we'll show you kind of some of the benefits of why this is a really good product to kind of improve throttle response and how easy it is to actually install. Okay, so what we're going to show you now is how the engine torque mount works on most mini models. The one we're specifically talking about is models made from 2002 to 2006, Cooper or Cooper S, and also models from 2004 to 2008 in the convertible. So essentially the R50, R52, and R53 versions of this car. So the engine torque mount keeps the engine from rocking too far forward and too far backward upon acceleration and deceleration. And so this mount right here, the one I'm touching, which Roberto's going to show you right now how that mount moves. And if you can see that or not, but basically that's what that engine mount, the torque mount, stops the engine from doing to a point. When this engine mount is cracked or bad due to time and age and mileage, it'll move significantly more than this because these rubber pieces right here will be cracked. On this specific car they're cracked, but on the other side it's a little hard to tell. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this mount and we're going to install our polyurethane engine bushings into it, and this way it will dramatically improve throttle response by limiting how much the engine rocks backwards and forwards. Okay, so right now Roberto's taking his impact wrench with a 16 millimeter on it, 60 millimeter socket on it. You can do this with regular hand tools. We're just going to use some air tools to speed up the process for this video. Okay, so now that Roberto has removed the two 16 millimeter bolts, he's going to use a pry bar and kind of push the engine forward against the transmission as such. This way he can pull that engine mount out. Okay, so now that he has the mount out, this is what it looks like in his hands. Now that this mount is out of the car, we can somewhat see right about here where the engine mount is actually cracked. I don't know if you can see that crack in the video or not, but it's pretty obvious. That's one of the ways this engine bushing fails. So at this point, since it's slightly cracked, we can actually still use it with our polyurethane engine bushings. But if it's more severely cracked, you're going to want to get a whole new engine mount. Okay, so now that we have this engine mount out of the car in our hands, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off these two little mold release points right here. They're sticking out on there. This is a pretty simple task. You just take a set of channel lock pliers or regular pliers, any tool like this, and you can just literally grab them and just twist them right off. Okay? And so when you do that, that allows this engine bushing that we're going to be installing, the larger of the two, to sit flush on that side. The other side does not have that. Okay, so the other method that we're going to use to get this small bushing out, we have to kind of press it out. We realize that most people don't have bearing presses in their home, so we're going to show you how to take it out with a simple vise and a pair of channel lock pliers. So go ahead and mount this into a vise as such. And they're nice and tight. And you're going to take your channel lock pliers and you're going to grab the lip of the metal mount on one side and press down with the other. This can be a little tricky sometimes, but you'll eventually get it. So as you grab and push down, push yourself up, you can see that you push that bushing right out of there. Okay, so pretty simple. And then to install the new bushing, that's even easier. Simply take it, split the two halves apart, press one side in, press the other side in, and you're done with that side. Then the way you install the larger pieces, that's about as easy as well. Simply take it, and you'll notice that there's a notch right here in both bushings. One side has it, one side does not. Doesn't matter which one you use, they both have it. You simply insert that bushing into the existing mount that way, and you flip it over, and once again there's that piece. Line the two up together. Oops. And that's it. Now we'll go ahead and go install that. Okay, so now that Roberto has the mount all put together in his hand, he's going to rock the engine forward again and work that bushing in from the large side and then twist it around for the front. This can be a little tricky sometimes. Notice how Roberto's using the pry bar to kind of push that motor mount back a little more. Sometimes you can't do it by hand, you just have to kind of work it in with the pry bar. And so now he's prying on the transmission again to pull that engine forward, and then he's going to kind of pivot it towards us so it lines up with the mount on the oil pan. There we go. Okay, and now he's going to let the engine go back into position. And then he's going to kind of use the pry bar once again to kind of push the engine mount forward a little bit, line up the holes as best he can. And then after this, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to put the bolts in, make sure that you get them hand started first so you don't cross thread anything. Then go ahead and torque them down and you should be good to go. Okay, so that one's in. Okay, notice how he's using the pry bar once again to get things, to help line things up, give yourself some more leverage. Okay.